Hello, guys, and it is time for another Russian geography lesson when we discover more about the locations deep inside the Russian area based on the destruction of legitimate military targets there. And today, Russia is burning on the ground, in the water, in the sky. So let's discuss these important destructions that lead us to the implementation of the only working peace plan to defeat and demilitarize this collapsing empire. It was really loud on various military sites in Voronezh and Belgorod regions, and these are active war zones inside Russia. They are close to the front lines, but they are actually the front lines themselves. Also, Syzran oil refinery stopped working after a visit of the Ukrainian drones, and it is one of the largest Russia's oil refineries, so they will definitely feel the loss. Another Russian tanker was neutralized by Ukrainian drone sea babies in the Black Sea, and that is the best way to implement the sanctions against their illegal fleet. Also, we hear about a huge fire in Saint Petersburg. And in some cases, the mission is performed by the Ukrainian drones, in some cases, by the Ukrainian made missiles, but in some cases, it is traditional Russian negligence and desire to spend billions of dollars in the destruction of the Ukrainian homes instead of protecting and improving the quality of life inside Russia. Let's discuss all of that in the video, but please remember, the only way to end this madness is to end the Putin's regime. My name is Anna, I'm from Ukraine, I'm in Ukraine. Subscribe and share these videos to spread the truth. The world needs it. We still have time to save ourselves, and Ukrainians are prepared to do the job because, trust me, Russia has a lot of evil plans, and unfortunately, some ignorant people who know nothing about my part of the world keep persuading that they are professionals. So let's begin with the war zone inside Russia, the front lines, Voronezh, Kursk, Belgorod. I'm sure you already remember the names of these regions that were totally safe before Putin decided to protect them with the special military operation, which totally failed. Please remind those who keep repeating that Russia cannot be defeated that Russia actually lost a lot, beginning from the Black Sea Fleet and finishing with the failed Blitzkrieg, when many believed Ukraine would surrender, and now we observe dozens of Russian regions on fire. So in Voronezh and Belgorod, we most likely targeted some military sites with missiles, and then Russians targeted some of their own sites with air defense missiles. This is what often happens, and here I'm actually grateful that Russian vloggers, Telegram channels report it as it is. Maybe because they cannot afford saying that Ukrainians are successful at destroying something big, but they usually say that it's just the debris of the Ukrainian drones, and if it's a missile, then it is a Russian air defense. And they are really bad at that. They were totally unprepared to protect themselves. And there are tons of reports about the friendly fire when they drop bombs on their own buildings in Voronezh and Belgorod, because that's actually the area that Russian bombers often need to cross. And I wonder why people accept that. You may see protests in Russia already, in the Far East, in Siberia, and mainly they are against the taxes, the increase of taxes, and some financial problems, but you won't see people reacting to this, total negligence and Russian aircraft dropping bombs on the Russian houses. But perhaps that's okay for them. And also, an important achievement was in Syzran, where we stopped the work of one of Russia's largest and most important oil refineries, taking into account that in 2025 they've lost approximately 40% of their income. That is huge because honestly, gas and oil are the main branches of their export and the main way to get some money in Russia. That's, by the way, a reason why I don't see any future cooperation between the US and Russia. Russia can only sell you oil and gas. Do you really need it? So, Syzran oil refinery stopped operating, and that's super important. It means not just it was severely damaged, but it halted the operations. And once again, in the context when they lack trillions of rubles, thumbs up for that. Yes, two thumbs up for that. Also, we see that serious problems are following Russia's shadow fleet. And one more tanker was neutralized by the Ukrainian Sea Baby drones in the waters of the Black Sea. We have destroyed their Black Sea fleet. They did not manage to save it. They brought some leftovers to Novorossiysk, but that's not what it was. We destroyed the headquarters in Crimea, and now we keep implementing the sanctions because come on, the whole world banned Russia from trading the oil. Everybody understands that these tankers should not travel the planet, and people still close their eyes. So I'm sorry, someone has to do the job. And we always choose a moment when these tankers are empty. It was exactly the same situation this time. And Russians are terrified. Plus, what's good, we do it really slowly, giving time to those companies in different corners of the world that agreed on this fraud to stop supporting Russia fleet and to break the contracts. And by the way, many report that they've actually stopped doing it. As I record this, a huge fire takes place on one of the markets in St. Petersburg. This is Russia's negligence. This is their choice to spend billions on the destruction of Ukrainian supermarkets and homes instead of improving security, standards of life inside Russia. And I'm sure they have decided, like to redirect some money maybe from fire protection to more missiles production. And that's their result that we see. By the way, recently I read an article about the huge problem in Irkutsk that is far away in a very cold region of the Russian Federation, and they don't have normal heating there because some elements are broken. And 160,000 people are without heat, and right now they have approximately minus 20 Celsius. I don't know what's that in Fahrenheit, but minus 20, that's very cold. And one of the local authorities in that Irkutsk actually counted that to repair that heating system, they would need an equivalent of money that the Kremlin spends on war in Ukraine during one and a half second. 1.5 seconds. They spend that much money on destroying Ukrainian kindergartens during just 1.30 second instead of repairing heating in Irkutsk where their own children also feel cold. So this is insane, and one more reason why Russia can and will be defeated. They don't have money, and Putin keeps reporting about the capturing of Pokrovsk during at least 1 year. During 2025, they managed to gain less than 1% of the Ukrainian territory, and no one here is prepared to give up our territories, to praise Putin with Ukrainian territories for all the war crimes and actually open the door for more invasions. Because, come on, we all know Putin cannot end this war because this will mean the end of his regime. And this inspires us to end his regime faster and to meet him in The Hague. Subscribe to witness that together and let me know, are you available this Saturday for our live conversation 9 p.m. Kyiv. Also follow me on Anna Danilchuk channel and other social media platforms. The links in the description of this video, same as the link to the merch shop, where we have a good collection of calendars for 2026. And thank you for buying me coffees, becoming my patrons and sponsors of the channel. But most importantly, thank you for standing with Ukraine. Slava Ukraini!